Okay, let's see. Let's get on here. Hello, guys. Welcome. Let's see if I can get that. Get me close over here, so at least I can be clearer. There we go. There we go. So, welcome, guys. Welcome to another episode of China Ratchet, episode 3. Let me put in a goal. I think yesterday I got 2. No, well, before my last one, I got 2 donations, so that's good. So let's do this for maybe 2 hours, because this is gonna go for 2 hours. We know it will probably. All right. And all colors, all colors. That's all. Thank you for donating to the last episode. I really appreciate that. I mean, for me, it's about just the principalities. It's principalities. It's principalities. It's more about the principalities. It's less than a cup of coffee. Everybody that watched last time, which I think the highest was like 15 people, that's $30. That goes a long way. Can do a lot of things with that. And not for myself, but I would just use it to enhance the channel, not to enhance myself. So the money I was given last week, I'm gonna, I put it in a savings, and then when it's time to buy something like a subscription to StreamYard, so that's my first thing. What I want to do is get this doggone logo off here, because that costs $44 a month. So if I can get that off, $44 a month will get me um 1080p instead of 720p, which y'all got now. So we're gonna be talking about some things that one of the things I really regret talking about, but I gotta talk about it because I do have an opinion on it, and I have a hypothesis on it. So yeah. Hold on, let me fix my background. Oh my god. Oh no, you can't have my bed looking like that. Oh, okay. You gotta be looking, you know, pristine. Pristine. For real, my friend. Mm. There we go. Looking pristine, baby. Okay. There we go. Ah, that looks a little bit better. Okay. So yeah, I'm just gonna wait till some people get in, and then I think I'm gonna start with the Trumpelon, because I just want to get that out of the way. I know that people are gonna be asking me about that. Like, what do you think about Trump? Because I think most of my subscribers, they don't like Trump. So they want to hear what I gotta say. I'm pretty sure you want to hear, well, what are you gonna say now? Right? And yeah, I got something to say about it. So I think I'll let some people come inside. I am pretty pissed off about this happening. That I'm very disappointed in both men. I don't even know if I want to call them men at this point. Um, the reason why I'm disappointed is because you have the Democrats. They are just discombobulated. They're destroyed. All you have to do is sit down and shut up and let them destroy themselves. You don't got to come up with any other thing. Let them destroy themselves, and you will have people voting for Republicans for the next like 8 years. If you just sit down and shut your mouth and stop massaging each other's balls and egos, you know. And what Elon and Trump are doing is just deplorable. It's horrible. It's horrible. It's like two children fighting. But I understand what's going on. I understand what's going on. I just wish that they did this behind closed doors and that Elon Musk did not play like a damn child and do this in front of everybody. You know, saying all these things in front of everybody. But if what he's saying is true, man, I got to look at Trump differently from now on. And the reason why that is because he's saying that the reason why the Epstein files are not out is because Trump is inside the Epstein files. Now, a lot of things that Elon has said in the past when he was in Doge, they were true. So a lot of things that he said were true. We're gonna talk about China. I got some stuff about China too. So, you know, we're gonna talk about China, but I want to spend like 15, 20 minutes talking about what's going on between these two guys and what I think is happening. So, if what Elon Musk is saying about Trump that he's in the Epstein trials, um, Epstein files, Trump is going to have to release those to prove Elon wrong. And I think Elon did that on purpose as some kind of strategic play, right? So if you don't release it, then you're guilty. If you do release it, well, are you in the Epstein files, right? So if he's in the Epstein files, which in my opinion, I don't think that if he went to Epstein Island, I don't think he's doing some stuff or crazy things. That maybe he flew to the island for something, for business or whatever. Who knows? Because I think Trump shows a lot of restraint, a lot, and people may not agree. And the reason why I'm saying that he shows a lot of restraint is because that he doesn't drink, he doesn't smoke. Those kind of like I would say immoral things that people do. He likes women, right? So we'll see. Like I don't know what's gonna happen, but if Trump doesn't release those Epstein files, I'm gonna think suspect because now I'm saying that I kind of like 80 to 90% believe what Elon is saying that Trump is not that he won't release because his name is in it, but that Trump is in those files, right? Um, at what degree if he is he in those files? I don't know. But you're never gonna hear the left. The left ain't gonna never stop talking about this for like the next 3 years. They're never gonna the view is gonna go crazy and everything like that. Uh, I want to root for Trump, but that's the Epstein files, man. Like I wanted those things released. Like that was promised to be released. They haven't been released. and there's no reason why they haven't been released. And then one plausible reason, like common sense reason, is that, oh, the president's name is in it. And for Elon to say that. So this is why I believe him 90%. Because for Elon to say that, if it's not true, Trump could sue him for defamation. Just like you're defaming me. I'm not in the files, right? And for you to do that, then they will have to show the files, right? But the Democrats ain't gonna they don't want those files to come out. You know what I'm saying? Um, but yes, for you not to, if Elon is defaming you, Donald Trump, sue him. If he's not defaming you, then you're not going to mention this type of thing. And so that's where my logic hits. So I got the logic circuits on. So I'm like, if you ain't going to release those Epstein files, then you must be in them. That's what I think. Okay. And so if they're not released in a certain amount of time, I may have to start thinking differently about Donald Trump. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to think any higher of Elon Musk, because Elon Musk was in it for himself, right? He was in it for himself. So that's that. The two men could be in it for themselves. And for me, that's just kind of, I'm disillusioned. I would become disillusioned like if I was George Orwell writing 1984. You cannot trust anyone. What's the meaning of voting, right? If you cannot trust this guy, right? So, I mean, that's how I feel about it. Now, let me tell you how I think that this thing came about. So I'm gonna give you a quick 10 minutes and then we're gonna move on. All right. 15 minutes. So what I think what happened is that, first of all, Trump is emboldened or in debt. Sorry, not emboldened, in debt to the Auto Workers Union. Okay, so the auto workers and the steel workers union, he's in debt to them. And the auto workers union, basically they're residing in the Rust Belt or whatever. I don't know what you call that. The Rust Belt place, or Detroit and all that, Steel City, and this kind of thing where they're making all the cars. He want to bring cars back to America, right? He want to solidify his legacy. He want to bring cars back. And he got elected because of the steel workers and the auto workers, right? And so when you're dealing with the auto workers, you're not dealing with Tesla. You dealing with like Toyota, Nissan, American cars, whatever, Chevrolet, whatever, but they not all into that electric stuff, because you can't make all that money with the electric car market. Remember that Trump went to the Middle East a couple of weeks ago and made friendly with those Middle Eastern nations that sell oil, right, for a living. And so if you're selling oil, then you don't need electric cars. And that's why you have seen the price of oil drop. The price of gas drop, because Trump has went to the Middle East and said, hey, dudes, I'm on your side. We got to make a deal, right? And that oil deal is connected to the steel deal, which is connected to the auto workers deal, which is counterproductive to Elon Musk's grand vision of making electric cars that drive themselves. Now, if it was me, I would go with the electric cars because I have a Tesla, and I would go with self-driving because this car is phenomenal. Like, Elon's car is phenomenal. It does everything I wanted to do. It's a perfect car. Expensive, but it's a perfect car. But the problem is that only pretty much only wealthy people can afford a Tesla. All the stuff that goes into paying for a Tesla, like pretty much you got to be pretty much wealthy enough. You got to be pretty much paying at least $2,000 or $3,000 a month towards that car. Anything towards the car. I'm talking about insurance, maintenance, all that other stuff. You're gonna be doing like $2,500 a month. Okay, $2,000 a month per car. Okay, and so that's too expensive for the honest working Joe that's working in a factory. And Trump knows that. The honest working Joe is what got him elected. But also, Elon got him elected. And so Elon expects something. But he's willing to give concessions, I think. All right. So I think he's like, yo, we don't care about the subsidies. I don't care about this stuff. But you can't be given subsidies to the same to a billionaires like the auto workers, right? The auto workers union and all this stuff. You can't be giving subsidies to them and then you deny me subsidies because we both the same type of entity. So why is it that you're giving them subsidies and then don't give me subsidies? But I understand that. I'm willing to let that slide. But the thing is, you giving them subsidies and then you're spending money from the American people to do all these things that they're going to do with the auto industry and the oil industry and all this kind of thing. So you're going to be spending like a lot of money, Trump, right? And Elon thought that it was going to go his way. And so another thing is that Elon was in Doge and he was doing all of these things and he was taking time off at his company to help Trump. And he feel like Trump kind of stabbed him in the back. You know, like, I took time from my job, from my company to help you. I even got my cars firebombed. And you letting guys like Scott Bessent. And you know, Scott Bessent is the mastermind of the tariff thing, right? And I think him and Scott Bessent are getting into it, and a few of the other people inside the Trump administration, Marco Rubio, because you remember the thing with the HB1 visas, because Elon Musk said you can't do that about the HB1 visas because he probably needs those kinds of people because they work for less money because Elon be slaving them, right? Americans not going to take that slave-like mentality, right? Those HB1 visas going to do that. So he doesn't agree with what's going on with what Trump is doing with the HB1 visas, right? That's hurting into his business. So it's like a business thing and a political thing. Now Trump is like, yo, I got to do what I got to do because you knew this coming in. You know, I didn't give you no promises. You asked a question, I ain't answer it. I think that's what happened with Trump. Like, it's like I want a hip hop deal or something or some rap deal, and I'm trying to do business with this guy, but I don't have no money to put in, but I'm helping this guy out, right? With the promise of being a superstar that he gonna let me make my album, and then at the end of the day, when I do all this stuff for him, he don't let me make my album. Right? And I get pissed off. But the reason why he don't let me make my album, I don't care to understand. Right? So the record producer who's like, yo, he can't make an album because I got too many other things that I got to do. I got too many other projects that I have to invest in. And even though he helped me, I already promised these other guys something that are, they just doing more. They've been giving more because they have more resources. This guy I'm just giving a handout to. He helped me, but not enough to help me for something that's so large that I got to stop everything I'm doing to give him a record deal. And what I do is postpone it. And I'm like, yo, I'm going to postpone it to like next year. And then I get pissed off, right? Because I don't even want to understand what this guy's going through. And that's what's happening with Elon and Trump. Trump is like, yeah, man, F off with electric cars. I can't mess with that. I'm working with the steel unions. I'm working with the auto unions. I'm working with just your regular dude that cannot afford your expensive cars. We just can't afford it right now. And you know that I'm against electric stuff, electric vehicles, and all this other kind of windmills. And I've been saying it in my speeches. You should know, like all these energy dependent, cost cutting energy things, like freaking solar panels. Tesla solar panels. If you want to get that up there, that's like $10,000-$15,000. You want to put that in your house? Who can afford it? You know what I'm saying? So you can understand where Trump is coming from. Like, Elon, I appreciate your help because you want to help the country, but it's nothing I can do. You knew what it was. So basically, you knew what it was. And Elon Musk feels like he getting thrown to the wolves by Scott Bessent, because Scott Bessent is a very intelligent individual, very strategic. You know what I'm saying? He gonna go all the way through with this tariffs and all this other stuff because Elon don't like that neither. But the problem is Elon ain't the president, and I think for a while he thought he was the president for a little while, right? This doesn't mean that I'm on Trump's side because I believe like Elon was trying to fix a lot of stuff with the best intentions, and he expected things, and he ain't get it, and now he's pissed off. See, what pissed me off about Elon is he's throwing out personal information like this kind of stuff. But the thing is, the personal information that he threw out is Epstein files. So how can you pull him for that? Like, if Trump is in the Epstein files and Trump don't want to push that Epstein files out, and Pam Bondi don't want to push that out, then there's something going on here. And Trump, you gotta answer for this. Release the files, or you're gonna have some problems. That's what I'm saying. Like, in terms of me as a person who's been rooting for Trump for more than 8 years, if you don't release those goddamn files, you're gonna lose a loyal supporter. Like, I'm a loyal supporter. I've been name called and everything like this. You got to release those files. I believe what Elon said, that his name is in there. To what degree? It's just basically, I want to know to what degree. Okay? I already know he in the files. Because I don't think, like I said, I don't think Elon would say that unless he has evidence, because Trump would sue his ass to the moon and win if it became untrue. Let me see what this guy is saying. What's up, Earl? Ooh, Chinese nationals accused of smuggling toxic fungus into the U.S. That was something I'm gonna have to find. But anyway, that's what I got to say about it. I think both guys are just being real stupid. Trump wants to take the government contract from Elon, which I don't think he should do. I think that's incredibly short-sighted. Just Elon got him in a check type of thing, and Trump needs to chill out and think and just like, yo, release the Epstein files unless you're guilty. Now, I'm all for Trump, man. I don't like what Elon did, but the dude got a point, man. And the Democrats, now they just gonna rise like the fucking phoenix out of goddamn fire. I mean, that's how crazy this is. All right. Let's see. Toxic fumes. Toxic fungus. Chinese smuggle. Oh, are they trying to do the Last of Us on us? Uh oh. Uh oh. Uh oh. Uh oh. Uh oh. I'm trying to find something that's not. Let's see. Straight Arrow News. I'm trying to see if Straight Arrow News has SAN. Oh, good. Okay. So Straight Arrow News has it. Go to Straight Arrow News, guys, because Straight Arrow News, they real. Don't go ABC, NBC to say SAN. Okay, good, good, good. So we're gonna check this out here. But yeah, that's all I gotta say on that. And I hope, I don't know, I think it might get worse and worse at this argument. But this is like two clowns fighting. Like, y'all stupid for doing this. Y'all should have kept this fight behind closed doors. You know, you're gonna ruin the Republican Party. You're gonna ruin our chances of winning a midterm because you arguing over dumb shit. You know, um, you should fix this behind closed doors. And Elon shouldn't have done that. Just like going like scorched earth because this can destroy the country. What you're doing, you know, unless Trump is like caught red-handed messing with underage girls, then you're gonna have to impeach him and put freaking, because if that is true that he's messing with the like underage girls, he got caught. No excuses. He got to be impeached, and then JD Vance got to take over. I mean, that's just how I feel about it. Like if you messing with little girls and you got caught doing it, and there's documentation where you got caught, and there's evidence that you got caught doing it, then that's what got to happen. But what I think is that his name is in the file, but it ain't gonna amount to a lot of stuff. That's what I think. I think it's just your name is in the file. You was there for like a brief period. You probably went there to see this dude to talk for like 10 minutes or like a couple of hours. You ain't want to talk to no girls. You did that, you was just talking with this dude, but your name is in it. And that's why you don't want to release it. So that's what I think what happened with Trump is that his name is in it. I don't think he was involved in any of the female debauchery and all that stuff. I think he was there probably because of business or some other thing. But that's bad on your name if you was there, right? And that's why he don't want to release it. That's what I'm thinking. But if that is so, release it anyway. It might be a bad blotch on your name, but it's going to be a bad blotch on a lot of people's names. Okay, a lot of people's names. Okay, so damn, that's what I got to say about that. Give you the realest. Okay, so that was 30 minutes about that, and now we're going to talk about this fungus. Chinese nationals accused of smuggling fungus into the U.S., which I was like, what? All right, let's share this screen then. This is from Straight Arrow News. They're really good. Thank you, Earl, for this. Hopefully it plays. I think it's gonna play because it's yeah. All right, let's check it. Unbiased, straight facts. That's what I like about Straight Arrow News. Oops. Let's see what's up.
charged a pair of Chinese researchers in a relationship with attempting to U.S. authorities charged a pair of Chinese researchers in a relationship with attempting to smuggle a potential agro-terrorism weapon into the United States,
Wow.
a pathogen deadly to crops and toxic to humans and livestock.
Fusarium graminearum is a worldwide distributed pathogen. It infects wheat and corn and other crops. And it does have the potential to produce toxins, mycotoxins, that can impact the feed quality.
The duo face charges of conspiracy, smuggling, making false statements, and visa fraud.
Wow.
According to a criminal complaint filed Tuesday, the boyfriend remains at large while the girlfriend is booked in Detroit. Authorities believe her 34-year-old boyfriend, identified as Zio Hong Lu, is in China. They say in July of last year, he attempted to smuggle seeds from the pathogen into the U.S., but got caught at an airport in Detroit. Initially, he told border agents he didn't know where the 4 baggies discovered in.
You dumb. Like, seeds is like mad easy to import. How can you like mess that up unless you're incredibly stupid? I mean, come on, it's seeds. You could put that anywhere. You gotta just be incredibly stupid. But anyway.
His backpack came from, but later admitted he knew the seeds were restricted and had attempted to conceal them with tissues, according to prosecutors. Agents then turned him away and he returned to China. Prosecutors say Lu intended to use the seeds for research at the University of Michigan, where his girlfriend, Yang Qingjin, was employed as a researcher.
Okay, so could this be much to do about nothing? Yun Qingjin is from Sichuan, China. She received her PhD at Jiang University in 2020 and had a 2-year postdoc experience there. During her PhD training, she studied the mechanisms of how fungi combat with plant-derived stresses. She joined our lab in August 2022 as a postdoc, and her research mainly focuses on the evolutionary perspective of RLKs and their whatever that means says. Is this something to be going crazy about? I don't know. I mean, for him to get caught for seeds, that means he wasn't really trying to hide it. Because if you want to get seeds inside the United States, I'm pretty sure it's very easy. All you got to do is swallow them and then shit them out when you leave. When you come out, right? When you come out the other end. Just swallow them and then crap them out. That's all you got to do. Right? If it was really from something from the CCP, there would be more nefarious methods to take this stuff and do what you're going to do with this stuff. You can put it anywhere. It's so easy to smuggle that stuff. Right? So, and those things that do this, they're going around your whole body and all that. You ain't going to be able to catch those seeds. Like, so in my opinion, I don't think he was trying to hide it that much. It was actually trying to do some research. But then again, you shouldn't be bringing stuff that's not native to the United States into the United States. That's the thing, right? So, and if she knew, because I think she did, why would she want? And then there comes the problem about why would she want this? Like, couldn't she research this in China? The question is, did she know about this? And did she condone it? And the second question is, why would she want to do that in America and not do it in China? You could do the same research in China because you came from Sichuan University, right? Or there are ways to research this in China. Why go through all of this to research seeds in America? See, that's the thing. It might not be much ado about nothing.
researcher. Investigators say Jiang at first denied knowing of any such plan from Liu, but text messages between the two revealed they had coordinated a plan for Liu to hide the pathogen seeds in his shoes to smuggle them into
Ratchet! The plot thickens. Something is afoot. Something is afoot. Oh, yep, she working for CCP. Because, listen, man. So he hit it in his shoe. She was lying that she didn't know. Now she knows. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, girl, you done fucked up. You know you done fucked up, right? You know you done messed up, right? You know you done messed up, right? Because they're gonna put her in jail. She's gonna be in jail for like 6 months or something. And then deported, and then your PhD taken away. You done. You went to one of the best schools in the world, Michigan University, and you just had to F up, right? You just had to work for the CCP. Shit. You know what I'm saying? Let's play this.
U.S. authorities charged a pair of Chinese researchers in a relationship with attempting to smuggle a potential agro-terrorism weapon into the United States, a pathogen deadly to crops and toxic to humans and livestock.
They knew.
Fusarium graminearum is a worldwide distributed pathogen. It infects wheat and corn and other crops. And
let me tell you that this is the same. Oh no, that was Duke. Never mind. Let me play it.
And it does have the potential to produce toxins, mycotoxins, that can impact the feed quality.
The duo face charges of conspiracy, smuggling, making false statements, and visa fraud. According to a criminal complaint filed Tuesday, the boyfriend remained at large while the girlfriend is booked in Detroit.
Wow.
Authorities believe her 34-year-old boyfriend, identified as Jiang Liu, is in China. They say in July of last year, he attempted to smuggle seeds from the pathogen into the U.S., but got caught at an airport in Detroit. Initially, he told border agents he didn't know where the 4 baggies discovered in his backpack came from, but later admitted he knew the seeds were restricted and had attempted to conceal them with tissues, according to prosecutors. Agents then turned him away and he returned to China. Prosecutors say Liu intended to use the seeds for research at the University of Michigan, where his girlfriend, Yang Qingjin, was employed as a researcher. Investigators say Jiang at first denied knowing of any such plan from Liu, but text messages between the two revealed they had coordinated a plan for Liu to hide the pathogen seeds in his shoes to smuggle them into the university laboratory for further studies. U.S. Justice Department officials say the fungus the couple attempted to bring into the United States is responsible for billions of dollars worth of crop losses globally each year.
Wow.
It's also known to cause sickness and birth defects in humans and livestock. U.S. Attorney Jerome Gorgon said in a statement the alleged actions of these Chinese nationals, including a loyal member of the Chinese Communist Party, are of the gravest national.
Whoa. So one of them is a member of the Chinese Communist Party. Okay. I mean, that just says it right there, you know.
Loyal member of the Chinese Communist Party are Chinese nationals, including a loyal member of the Chinese Communist Party, are of the and livestock. U.S. Attorney Jerome Gorgon said in a statement the alleged actions of these Chinese nationals, including a loyal member of the Chinese Communist Party, are of the gravest national security concerns. In a statement, the Chinese Foreign Ministry said it was unaware of the case, but always advises its citizens to follow the laws of the nation they are visiting when abroad. The University of Michigan denounced the alleged actions of the couple and pointed out it receives no funding from China. The university vowed to continue to cooperate with law enforcement regarding the case.
I believe University of Michigan, because University of Michigan had like a couple of programs where they had to coordinate with China, and they canceled both of them. Like they canceled them. So I think the University of Michigan is working with Donald Trump's administration to like freaking vet these kind of foreign terrorists and stuff, as opposed to what Harvard is doing, right? So I do believe that University of Michigan is working with the Trump administration based on my knowledge of two programs that between China and University of Michigan that have been basically gutted, is done. They're not messing with China anymore. They'll still accept the students, but they're not messing with any of these kind of programs. So whatever Michigan is saying, I kind of believe what they're doing. So
Investigators have not revealed any potential motive in the case or why proper documentation was never sought. While Liu remains on the loose, Jean made a court appearance Tuesday where a judge deemed her a flight risk and ordered she remained in jail. For more on this story, download the Straight Arrow News app or visit SN.com. For Straight Arrow News, I'm Kaylee Carey.
She's in prison. She's in prison because you lied. You know, like, what's the reason to take these seats here? To do research. Why would you do it? You know why she would do it? I'm going to tell you why. University of Michigan has top level research facility. Okay, she's a PhD student. And why her boyfriend got something to do with it? Her boyfriend is approached by CCP, because she's probably not in the CCP. He probably is. Her boyfriend is approached by the CCP or somebody in the CCP. Like, can you research this for me? We don't got the facilities to do it. It's too dangerous in China to do it. Do it in America. Right? And we will pay you this amount of money if you do it. Because she would not like renege her whole education, put her whole education on at risk for nothing, right? Unless it's for the Chinese Communist Party and it's for money. Okay, so I think this was like a vague thing, like she knows he is from the CCP, because that's the type of dude she gonna go out with. She gonna go out with some dude, because it didn't say that he was a graduate of anything in the United States. So he got to be some kind of CCP operative or CCP middle or low-ranking person. Very low-ranking person. Somebody asked him to do a favor, and he's like, girl, you got to do this for me. Research these seeds, dude, because you got a top-level facility, blah, 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 blah. And she's probably not willing to do it at first. Right? Of course, she's not willing to do it at first. But the money, because he's not doing it for free. Right? So he's not doing that shit for free. So he's like, this could help us. They're going to promise us a lot of stuff. Just do this. It's easy and stuff and all this other kind of thing. And then she's like, all right, okay, just bring the seeds over here. And then he's so stupid, he puts them in plastic bags and put them in his shoe like a fucking retard. You know what I'm saying? Like, you retarded. Why would you put them in your shoe? If you're going to do that, you got to do it another way. You swallow the bag. You don't even swallow the bag. You swallow it and then crap them out when you get to the other side, and you just got to search through your own crap. But he ain't want to do that, right? Who wants to search through their own crap, right? So he did it this way, and he got caught because he's an idiot, right? And she got to admit that, yeah, I worked with him. First she said, I don't know nothing about it, and then she's like, yeah, I work. And then what he does is he escapes to China, back to China, because instead of facing justice like he should be. Because if that was my wife, if that was Jenny, I would like It was me. It wasn't her. It was me. It was me. I would come back. I would just fly back to America and say, put me in jail, put me under jail, whatever. Like it was me. It wasn't her. I coaxed her into doing it. But he gonna leave her to rot, and she gonna go to jail. She in jail because she's a flight risk, right? And I believe she probably get like 6 months or something because it's only seeds and stuff. So they'll probably give her like 6 months or time served. So as the case is going, which will probably take a year, she's gonna be in jail for like a year, and then because it's the Trump administration, she don't get no bail. And I predict she'll be out in like a year or two. Her visa revoked. Her PhD is done. So all that money her parents paid for and everything is done. And then the Chinese Communist Party ain't gonna help her because you failed your mission. So she's just at 5 ways from Sunday, and that's Ratchet. And the flag's point of view, all you had to do is say, "F you, boyfriend. I'm on America's side now," and then report it to the United States. Like, yo, my boyfriend trying to do this and that and that and that and this. I'll say I'm not, because the Chinese gonna try to like harass her maybe if she don't do what she's supposed to do, right? So thanks for that story, Earl. You know who she looks like? She looks like Petals. Ooh, let me. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Let's see. Lily Petals. We gotta talk about her at one point because she getting more ratchet by the day. I could see it. I could see that she kind of could look like Lily Petals. I think she looks like those because she got the Sichuan beauty. She's a very beautiful. This girl is a beautiful woman. Some people might not think so, but um, no, she's a beauty. Actually, she's a beauty. But she done effed up, and you know what's gonna happen? She gonna get a boyfriend. She gonna get a girl boyfriend. She gonna get a butch trying to smash that ass. Because in the girl prison, they don't got those protection like the boys prison. You know. Ooh, I would love to see her turned out. I would love to see her turned out, man. Turning into some lesbianism. I would love to see it. Let me see her turned out. Ratchet! Let's make OnlyFans. He said Lily Petals always taking L. Yeah, she's steady taking L's. Dating some dude that was stalking you. Like, we gonna have to talk about Lily Petals. Like, that might have to be like China Ratchet episode 4, even though she's not from China. But like, damn, because how you bang one of your subscribers, like, that don't make no kind of sense. Like, she for the streets. She for the streets, man. Don't save her. She don't want to be saved. Don't save her. She don't want to be saved. Don't save her. She don't want to be saved. Don't save her. She don't want to be saved. Don't save her. She don't want to be saved. Don't save her. She don't want to be saved. Don't save her. Like, really, man. Really. Don't get me on a rant about Lily Petals and that dude, the boyfriend the new husband or whatever that don't even take care of his own children. It's crazy. I feel sorry for the other dude, like the Kenyan dude. Cause he with that white girl, and he he don't really like that white girl. He want Lily Petals back, but she's so far gone that he's just like, damn. And he can't stand having some guy like smashing his Asian princess, like, because Lily Petals looked better than the other girl. You know what I'm saying? And it gets him, I'm sure, that a subscriber who you thought was your friend was working behind your back to smash your woman. Like, that's why I don't do the meet up and greet up and none of that stuff, because yeah, you can't. Nah, don't put yourself in that situation. Don't put yourself in that situation. And she was smashing the dude behind the Kenyan's back while he was in Kenya. That's just Cuck City, man. That ain't gonna happen to Flag, though. That will not happen to Flag. Mark my words. But I gotta tell you something, though. But it won't happen to me. I'm telling you that right now. Would you guys clap her cheeks from the back while throwing up a Roman salute? Clap whose cheeks? Lily Petals? If I was single, hell yeah, I'd clap. Hell yeah, I would. Nobody ain't saying she ugly. Ooh, all you can eat Japanese restaurant for $20. Japanese also dislike black people. If it's good quality Japanese food, that's a great deal. Nah, I can't say that. Oh, I'm just gonna call you. What's your name? Um, Grand Admiral Gaines, because that's who you are. Ikawai man. You're Grand Admiral Gaines. We know who you are. Said take her passport. Cheek status clap. Get them likes up, baby. I don't know who Diane Yap is, but I'll look her up. He said James turned that thing out. He got 2 children out of her. He smashed her to pieces, but still, like, he's still bitter. You can tell he's bigger. He's bitter. Over a bicycle. That's what I keep hearing. Like, give me the video where that was the catalyst, because I can't find that video. Like, the video, or give me the name of the video so I can find it. Like, I'm hearing that it was over an $8,000 bicycle that they broke up over an $8,000 bicycle, and I'm like, yo, well, I bought a $2,000 bicycle, and Jenny got kind of pissed off, but she was like, now that I'm using it for everything from delivering food to doing exercises and riding my son home, she's like, okay, this thing is useful now. I mean, but they was making much more than I was, so. Arizona governor vetoes bill banning Chinese from purchasing land in the state. Wow. So not voting for the Arizona governor. Why would you let China buy land in America when Americans in China can't do the same thing? Man, these people, they're all traitors, man. I can't trust no politicians no more. I'm just pissed off, man. Like, for real. So I got this video here that I want to show. So this woman called, her name is Yurong. What is her name? She made the speech at Harvard. So her name is Luana Jiang. And she went on and on about how we should all be together and love each other and all this other bullshit. And then everybody was going for her and like, oh, she's so great, she's so awesome. But then we got some news that she didn't earn Harvard. Like Harvard was given to her because her father is some important person somewhere, and then he gets, he makes these really important decisions, and he did America a favor, a government a favor, not the Trump administration, but somewhere, sometime, he did America a favor, I guess during the Biden administration, and then because he did that favor, she got to go to Harvard, and she's Chinese, right? And her father is part of the CCP, Communist Party. And so she gets, and she's just like some average student. You could tell by the way she talks that she's average. Okay, that even if she's failing all her lessons, they're going to pass her ass, just pass her straight past her, right? And so we got a lot of these people who are grandfathered in to Harvard. And Trump don't like that. That's another thing I like about Trump. Like, he's sick of this grandfathered in stuff that people gotta come in by their own merit and not by the favors that they doing for the American government or for rich people, because they're saying that over a third, okay, it's over a third of students are pretty much grandfathered in, and political elites. The other part is political elites, and the elites that got the money to do it, and they got the friends to do it. And Harvard is just a piece of shit establishment to me and mine. And then you got the last third who they make it by the merit, right? But the other part is somebody, right? Or you doing a favor for somebody, or you grandfathered in because your family went to the same school. That's why when Kazina's going into high school right now, and I'm not gonna front, if she gets into Harvard, I'll be like, yo, that's so cool and stuff like that. But I don't think it as just this greatest institution like I used to think it as before, like this great, awesome institution. I just think it's just like you pay to play. If you got enough money, you can get into it. And I think right about these days that a lot of the things that you take now, they're going to be taken over by AI anyway. So you got to choose very carefully what you want to do with your future, because I think over half the stuff that is offered today is something that AI can take over. Okay, so we're gonna see this video. I want to show you, okay, because this woman was trying to play like she's all awesome and everything, but she's just another CCP shill. Okay. I know you're not part of elite, but we know who you are. Grand Admiral Gaines, you need to change your name. Okay, so we're going to play this here. Just crazy. Okay, so let's check this out. It's really insane. She's working for the CCP, and China Observer is going to let you know how she's working for the CCP. That it was all a grift.
On May 29th, At Harvard University's graduation ceremony, Luana Jiang, a graduate from China, gave a speech as a student representative. Her speech quickly sparked controversy both in China and abroad. In China, many netizens criticized her speech for being superficial and pandering to Western leftist values. Moreover, it was revealed that she came from a politically influential family. This raised further discussions about educational fairness. Overseas, some people questioned whether she was speaking on behalf of the Chinese Communist Party and suggested she had ties to the CCP's United Front Work Department. When the video of her speech was shared in China, it quickly gained popularity, with the Little Pink Group, a patriotic online community, celebrating her as the first Chinese woman in Harvard's nearly 400-year history to stand on the graduation stage. However, things took a dramatic turn just 3 hours later. Jiang's reputation began to collapse as netizens criticized the content of her speech. Her speech, titled Our Shared Humanity, focuses on cross-cultural understanding and connection. Many felt it lacked depth and originality, avoiding real-world conflicts and offering nothing more than a generic speech about universal values. Some compared her speech to a high school essay, which seemed awkward coming from a graduate. Others found her moral superiority and idealistic talk of love and peace to be typical of Western leftist rhetoric, making her seem out of touch and even irritating. Some even joked, saying, "I instantly understood why Trump criticized Harvard." An American professor, Wenda Ray, mocked her speech on Facebook, calling it a well-performed but shallow speech. He argued that the content was a publicity piece with ulterior motives and accused it of being part of the CCP's infiltration of American academia. Overseas social media personality Jennifer Jiang conducted an investigation and discovered that on April 20th last year, CCP Ambassador Xie Feng was giving a speech at Harvard Kennedy School.
Wow.
A Taiwanese protester was dragged away from the scene. The video at the time showed
Why,
Jiang.
why are you got communist officials giving speeches in Harvard University? I don't understand it. But then again, the Harvard colors is crimson red. They call it the Harvard Crimson or something like that. So they've been communists. We already knew. Okay, so we already knew Harvard was communist.
Was not in the audience, but in the aisle behind a banner, watching as the protester was dragged away. Her posture seemed like she was directing the scene, or at least participating. With her fist clenched, made her look like a warrior. Additionally, she posted another image, showing her taking a photo at the podium where Xie Feng was about to give his speech, as well as a photo with someone at the event. When she later observed the protester being dragged away, she had already taken off her jacket, enhancing the warrior vibe. Jennifer Jiang raised the question, who still says she's not associated with the CCP? Jiang was later revealed to be the daughter of Jiang Zhiming, a high-ranking official at the China Biodiversity Conservation and Green Development Foundation, which has close ties with Harvard, NGOs, and the United Kingdom. This further raised questions about whether her entry into Harvard was influenced by her family's resources and political connections. Jiang herself mentioned that the foundation's Secretary General, Zhou Jingfeng, had written her recommendation letter, and that she had volunteered in the foundation's international department. Her father is the executive director of the foundation's special fund. This revelation prompted even more speculation about whether her admission to Harvard was facilitated by special connections. A 2022 report from the Green Development Foundation, which congratulated her on her Harvard acceptance, was also uncovered. The report was written by Zhou Jingfeng, the man who had recommended her. This raised further doubts about the true nature of her achievements. Amid high youth unemployment and intense societal competition in China, many young people are dissatisfied with social inequities. Jiang's case has further sparked debates about educational fairness and the allocation of resources. Some netizens criticized the situation, saying, "In this society, ordinary people work hard, but they can't compete with those with a good father." Others joked, "It turns out the threshold to Harvard is something that we ordinary people can't even imagine." Some even questioned, is educational fairness just an empty phrase in this context? Furthermore, Harvard itself is currently at the center of a storm involving scrutiny from the U.S. government. President Trump pointed out that Harvard, along with other top U.S. universities, has long been infiltrated by woke culture and has even become a breeding ground for anti-Semitism. He further criticized these universities for their close ties to the Chinese Communist Party, claiming they have become channels for foreign influence. Just 1 week before the ceremony, the U.S. Department of Homeland Security announced the revocation of Harvard University's Student and Exchange Scholar Program qualifications. Additionally, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio proposed the revocation of certain Chinese students' visas. Amidst this, Harvard selected a Chinese female student as a representative speaker, which some netizens saw as a targeted move by the university.
哈佛演讲的蒋小姐 Miss Jiang gave a hollow and disconnected speech at the wrong time and the wrong occasion, and immediately became the focus of online criticism. It was completely due to low emotional intelligence. Right when Trump and Harvard were in conflict, she gave an example about washing machines, then talked about Indians, Thais, and now herself as a Chinese student in Harvard. Doesn't that affirm global human values? Doesn't it conflict with Trump's America First stance? Isn't it a subtle attack on Trump's policy of banning international students from Harvard? She probably doesn't even realize she's being used by Harvard as a pawn in this.
Interestingly, some nationalist online users believe Jiang looked like a Western ideological agent carefully selected for infiltration. The reason given was her father's leadership position at the Green Development Foundation, an NGO tied to the Ford Foundation, making her a Trojan horse for foreign influence. The typical career path of such people's children includes Western education, international awards, returning home to form NGOs, and stirring up issues like gender division, environmentalism, and human rights, all while destabilizing social order. Some even claimed that these individuals, upon returning to China, harbor more hatred for their homeland than Americans, and cause more damage to China than foreigners do. As a result, many netizens suggested that China quickly implement a foreign agent law to expose these foreign agents, NGOs, and influential figures, placing them in a hall of shame. Some even predict that although Jiang became famous, her career prospects in China have now been severely impacted. As the controversy around Jiang grew, the Green Development Foundation found itself at the center of the storm. During this time, the foundation suddenly removed all articles related to Jiang from its public platforms. Even the name Jiang Zhiming, her father, was quietly deleted from previous reports. The swift deletion of content has led some to speculate that there must be something shady going on. One netizen joked, "Isn't this like saying, I don't have any silver here?" The faster they deleted the articles, the more it seemed like there was a problem. Moreover, netizens found that the NGO had a checkered past. Some dug into the Green Development Foundation's past fundraising projects, raising doubts about the transparency of its financial flows. The organization was frequently accused of fundraising addiction, as it raised tens of millions annually, but had no clear explanation of how the money was used. In particular, it was revealed that in 2017, the foundation had its evaluation downgraded by the Ministry of Civil Affairs for failing annual inspections. In 2023, the organization was also reprimanded for illegally changing the purpose of donated funds. They had taken 500,000 yuan from a charitable donation, violating China's charity law, and were subsequently placed on a list of organizations with abnormal activities. These past offenses have severely damaged the public's trust in the foundation's credibility. Additionally, Taiwan commentator Cai Cheng-yuan wrote that Jiang entered Harvard's executive program without exams, relying on connections. Most of her classmates are foreign students, and the program lasts only for 9 months. It doesn't require a thesis or exams, just attending classes. During the 9 months, students also spend a lot of time visiting other institutions, and Harvard refers to this as a bread degree due to its high tuition fees for working professionals.
Wow.
This further confirmed the doubts raised by netizens. Embarrassingly, not only did Chinese netizens reject her speech, but the speech's content and her family background also sparked controversy overseas, with accusations of close ties to the CCP's United Front system. In her speech, Jiang mentioned that she studied international development at Harvard, stating that the program was based on the vision of shared human destiny. Critics pointed out that this wording is very similar to the rhetoric frequently promoted by General Secretary Xi Jinping. In March 2013, Xi Jinping introduced the concept of community of shared future for mankind, a phrase which has been heavily used in the CCP's domestic and international propaganda. In October 2017, the concept was even included in the CCP's party constitution. Since then, CCP officials have repeatedly elaborated on this concept in important speeches at forums like the United Nations, APEC, and the World Economic Forum. Cultural scholar Wu Zhuolai, who is based in the U.S., pointed out on X that Jiang's speech contained CCP key phrases. He highlighted that aside from shared human destiny, she also mentioned, "Our rise does not harm you," a line often seen in CCP propaganda in recent years. Wu argued that Jiang's body language and vocal techniques showed signs of training, resembling a diplomatic spokesperson.
Right.
He said her rhetoric followed the refined techniques of neo-Marxist discourse, pushing the CCP's ideology. Wen Dare also criticized Jiang's speech on Facebook, suggesting it served multiple purposes, including enhancing her resume, displaying a supposed patriotism, and even fulfilling the CCP's United Front mission. He criticized her for coming from a country with no freedom of thought, political freedom, or religious freedom, yet speaking eloquently about human rights, religious freedom, and poverty without mentioning the CCP's repression of human rights. He called her speech disingenuous. Wen Dare further remarked, if she believes in freedom of thought, she should criticize the CCP's control over public opinion. If she values religious freedom, why remain silent about the human rights of Uyghurs? If she believes in political freedom, why ignore the CCP's military threats to Taiwan? Other commentators questioned why Jiang, who discussed women's rights and the protection of poor children, didn't mention the chained woman incident in China. This was the case of a woman who was held captive for decades, forced to bear 8 children. Was there any acknowledgement of her basic rights as a woman? Furthermore, did Jiang offer any help to the left-behind children in China still struggling with poverty? They saw her speech as nothing more than empty rhetoric. While the Green Development Foundation is considered by some in China as a Guide Party organization, it has been found overseas to have close ties to the Chinese military. The Daily Caller reported on June 2nd that Jiang Zhiming donated approximately $140,000 to the China Biodiversity Conservation and Green Development Foundation, CBC-GDF, in 2015. The funds were used to establish the Green Future Technology Development Special Fund. Several U.S. government agencies, including the U.S. State Department and the U.S.-China Economic and Security Review Commission, have raised concerns about the CBC-GDF's close ties to the Chinese military. One of the organization's founders is General Liu Zhengcao, a former vice chairman of the Chinese People's Political Consultative Conference, a representative figure of the CCP military and United Front system. The foundation states that Liu's founding ideas laid the foundation for the organization's long-term collaboration with the official military and political systems. In 2017, the CBC-GDF established a CCP committee within the foundation, indicating its organizational structure is closely controlled by the CCP and has long worked with the CCP's United Workfront Department. The report also highlighted that Jiang Zhiming and Zhou Jingfeng, vice chairman and general secretary of the organization, attended an event in Hebei province in 2019. It was organized by the Chinese People's Association for Friendship with Foreign Countries, a CCP United Front entity. This event was co-sponsored by the Chinese defense conglomerate Poly Group, which has been linked to missile technology.
But you can just go on, and they're just going into all of this stuff that's pretty much happening, where China's infiltrating into our education system, and you just got to know the right people to get in.
Excellent grades and entered a top high school in Qingdao, later attending Cardiff School in the UK.
Oh wait, let's see. Well, what is this?
From her life, rarely keeping in touch.
So this is her life, I guess.
To promote China's Belt and Road Initiative, which the U.S. State Department has warned is often used by the CCP for intelligence infiltration and geopolitical leverage. Renowned China expert Gordon Chang criticized university itself, stating, "Harvard is a great institution, but we will have to end its existence if it continues to allow itself to be used by those seeking the destruction of the United States." Facing widespread online criticism, Jiang responded on June 2nd through China's social media platforms. She claimed that her parents divorced when she was young, and her father was completely absent from her life, rarely keeping in touch. She followed her mother to different places, and suffered severe bullying in middle school, even being humiliated and stripped of her clothes. It was this dark period that sparked her belief in using education to change her destiny. She achieved excellent grades, and entered a top high school in Qingdao, later attending Cardiff School in the UK. She completed her undergraduate studies at Warwick University and Duke University, ultimately earning dual degrees in economic and political science with a 3.96 GPA. She denied using her father's connections to enter Harvard, claiming that her graduate school tuition was funded by savings working for 4 years at Credit Suisse and Provita's investment. However, her attempt to present herself as a tragic independent woman quickly fell apart. The person who initially exposed her background is named Ximenda Ma, who quickly uncovered a family photo of Luana Jiang with her parents, showing the family in a warm and loving pose.
Exactly. She said her father left her when he was young, but there you go. You're together. Right? There's lies! Ratchet!
From this, Ximen Dama compared the man in the photo to Jiang Zhiming, her father, then questioned, what is this new kind of divorce? After divorcing, they take affectionate family photos and even have a second child?
Exactly.
TikToker Luo Ye's Laws posted a video questioning, on one hand, she claims her father was absent, while on the other, she posts happy family photos and talks about her so-called wandering life, then suddenly introduces a little brother. Is this strategic divorce from the Green Development Foundation's Rich Girl script? I suspect it's been inspired by House of Cards.
House of Cards.
These second-generation elites want the politically correct halo of Western top universities, but also want the privileged channels of recommendation. It's all too ugly. We should check the divorce certificate dates of her parents and the birth certificate of her younger brother. Jiang's claims of being bullied in middle school has also brought attention to her alma mater, Qingdao No. 65 Middle School, which is now placed in an awkward position. While the school is proud of its alumni's achievements, being described by Jiang as a place with severe bullying issues has placed it at the center of public scrutiny.
Wow.
As the controversy around Jiang continues to develop, more revelations might emerge. She's being rejected not only by overseas media, but also by Chinese netizens, creating a unique situation where she is under pressure from both sides. Some even suggest, if the US doesn't want her, China certainly doesn't either. We don't need returnees like Jiang Yurong from Harvard.
I knew it was something going on with this girl. Like, I mean, that's just what it is. You got to expose. Tell you the truth, I wonder what Esco Jiang thinks of this Jiang female. All right, let's see here. Let's see. I think Alaskan whiskey, Ming Mei Ling promotional videos. This is all this stuff. What are you talking about? Yeah, CCP chill. Definitely. I wouldn't smash. I'd let her whack me off. Yeah, this is you. Come on, man. Just say who you really are. Tell us who you really are, Grand Admiral. Just make a new channel. It's fine. Yeah, all you gotta do is attend classes and get the degree. That's all that's gonna happen. You know? And that's what Trump is trying to stop. And everybody's on Harvard. So many people on Harvard side. Do you know how many people go to Harvard and they don't gotta do anything? All they do is just go to class and they don't even pass the course and they get a passing grade. Because it's just a degree mill for some people. Yeah, all right. So I'm out, man. That's all I had to do for today. Please like and subscribe. I did not get any donations today, but perhaps another day I shall. And I didn't get a lot of people coming here. I think I got to do the mobile. When you do the mobile stuff, you get a whole ton of people coming. But when you do like off the desktop, you can't. The problem with the desktop is the problem with the mobile is that the mobile you can't change like videos, and I can show you some video that I had that I wanted to show you and all that stuff. You can't do that. What you can do is just show your face and then you talking. So, a lot of times I'd be wanting to show receipts. And I can't show them because I don't have everything. But yeah, we good. So this is the flag. I'm out. I'm going to watch before I go, I'm happy about the Alien Earth. I think it's called Alien Earth that's coming out. And Noah Hawley is directing, and there's a TV show, and it's coming out August 12th. And they got the trailer, and the trailer is so good. It has like 4 other alien species that the humans are going to have to like go against, and so I'm happy about that. Um, yeah, so I'm happy about that. I saw Final Destination, Bloodlines. That was dope. So Final Destination, Bloodlines was dope. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm not gonna even entertain that. Ikawaka, man. I'm not gonna even entertain that. Entertain that. So I'm gonna watch. I got this thing called The Substance by Demi Moore, which is so awesome. So I'm trying to watch that, and then after that, I'm gonna watch Snowfall, and so that's gonna be my weekend. Snowfall and oh, tomorrow I gotta go to what do you call these things? It's a market in Davidson. All right, so I'm out. Peace, y'all. Peace. Where where is the stop button?